I have bullet points for this video, for the script, and if anything sounds very weird, that's probably because I have never done anything like this before, and I am incompetent. So yeah, enjoy what you're given. How the past and future negatively affect your life. The alternative title of this video is The Beauty of the Moment. So, what exactly do I mean by that? Well, I personally believe that we choose to be unhappy a lot of the time, even if we don't want to be. Or, well, rather that we haven't learned any good ways to be happy in situations that don't very clearly call for it. Let me ask you a question. Which of the two is more beautiful to you? A dirty city on a rainy day, or say a Norwegian landscape with some mountains, or maybe a small cabin or some animals and all? Most people, myself included, would probably instinctively choose the second option. Why is that? I've come to the conclusion that it's almost certainly based on our associations, or in other words, what we've learned about things in the past. You won't look at a trash can and think, wow, look at the pretty colors of the trash. You'll think, wow, that's pretty smelly trash. But if you say, pick up an empty pack of like Haribos or something and showed it to a small child, it would probably be as interested as it would be if you gave it like an actual ruby or a diamond or a valuable painting or some rare flowers. The child has no idea that one of them is trash and the other one isn't. It's curious and just sees something new and fun. This is why the thoughts of the past and the associations can make our lives a lot harder and less enjoyable in certain situations. I believe you don't need either past or future in situations that annoy you. Let me give you an example. So, let's say you're stuck in traffic. Around you it's like a cold day, and you're already late for work, it's early, you haven't slept enough, and the person in front of you keeps honking, somebody else is on their phone, you look out the window and all you see is a factory in the distance and maybe like a dead tree or something, and it's overall just not an enjoyable look for you, because of mainly associations. Because with the thoughts of the past, your mind will be filled with awful associations. You get mad at the people for being ignorant and annoying, you might get mad at the factory for spitting out ugly smoke, polluting the air. Maybe you'll drift off a bit and think about evil corporations and how they don't need to work at all. It's a very frustrating thought. And obviously your mood will suffer because of this. Now pair that with the thoughts of the future, where you'll obviously be thinking, wow, my boss is going to be such a pain later, and he'll yell, and this is the second time that I'm late already this week, and he obviously doesn't care that it wasn't your fault at all. But if you remove all of this for a second, and I'm not saying this is easy, like not for me, not for anyone probably, except you're like a Zen monk, I don't know. Your emotions are not easy to control, but let's just say you manage it, because you can. After not much training, you'll get better at it. You don't have to worry about your boss screaming, because it's not happening right now, and you can't control what will happen once you actually get to work right now either, so sitting there making yourself more miserable isn't going to help anyone. And without the past or the associations, you can just focus on what you feel in the moment. You won't be thinking, wow, what ignorant people. You'll just think, you know, what a pretty sound my car is making. Maybe it'll sound like your cat purring, or maybe it'll be a bit warmer than it would be outside, and you'll think, wow, my steering wheel has a strange shape that's kind of interesting looking. Or maybe you can just lean back a bit and forget about all of this bullshit and get some energy that you couldn't get because you didn't sleep that much instead of stressing you out even more. Which would probably be very enjoyable. So you don't have to sit there really tense and really annoyed at the entire world. Instead you could just sit there like, this is nice. I have a bit more time before I get to work to kind of calm down and all. Yeah, it's very nice compared to your other options, at least in my eyes. So let's say, what about situations where you should keep your past or associations, but not the future? And I believe these are situations of danger. Imagine you're going home really late at night, it's like already 2 a.m. or something, and you know that in this area there's a cult lurking around, and everybody in this cult wears like green pants, and they seem to get a lot of enjoyment out of stabbing civilians every now and then. So if you just see everyone with green pants, like you see someone with green pants walking towards you, for example, and you're in a type of situation where like kumbaya, hell yeah, it's just, you know, no past or future, then you probably put yourself in serious danger. But thoughts of a potential future won't really help either, because you'll just end up stressing yourself out and maybe even freezing or trying to run away, but because you're not careful, you'll get hit by a car because you are overreacting, and it's just a big mess. Nobody wants any of that. So instead of use your associations and pattern recognition, but not the future panic, you'll quickly, but carefully, cross the street and walk another way before anything bad can happen, you know? And if he does end up running towards you, you'll still have enough time to panic, don't worry. So, when do you only need the future? I believe in situations of bliss, or situations of overall happiness. The situations that we already think are enjoyable right now. Say it's like a sunny day, but not too warm. It's really nice weather. It's the weekend, or maybe like finally holidays. And you don't want to think about all the shit that happened in the last day of work with that awkward incident where you accidentally ate someone else's lunch, but then you had an allergic reaction, so you couldn't even lie and say it wasn't you. You just want to enjoy your time right now. But you still need the thoughts about the future, so you can make logical decisions like, hey, how about you don't eat 6 pieces of cake in under a minute? You still want to be alive after the holidays. Or maybe use your time wisely and don't just sit in front of the TV all day. That can be fun, but putting your time and energy into like a hobby can be fun as well, but you'll simultaneously improve at something. And obviously these things don't apply to all types of situations all the time. There's definitely exceptions, but I believe this is accurate in most of the situations, or at least according to my experience. Since I've applied this method, I've had a lot more fun in my life, I've been a lot less miserable, and yeah, it's overall very nice. I hope I could help, at least a bit, with your life. And yeah, have a nice day.